Hi, my name is Tiffany, and I still can't believe my mother completely ruined my wedding. Not only that, but she keeps trying to make me absolutely miserable since then. What is especially messed up is that once upon a time, we were so close. I was an only daughter, and my mom and dad loved me dearly. They took such good care of me, and I have never seen two people so in love. I had an ideal childhood and couldn't have been happier. That was until my 18th birthday. Dad woke up early that morning, telling us he needed to go pick up my gift. I was so excited, and Mom cooked me a big breakfast while Dad was away. The problem was, he never came back. We waited and waited and waited. At first, I thought it was all a big ruse to surprise me with a party or something like that. But after lunch, Mom and I began to really get worried. We called him several times, but Dad didn't pick up. Late that night, we got the phone call no one wants to get. Dad had been involved in an accident, and it had taken the police a long while to locate us. He had unfortunately passed away, and there was nothing to be done. I was in absolute shock. Imagine, my dad died in an accident while picking up my birthday gift. I knew I'd never been able to enjoy that day again, and would refuse to celebrate from then on. My mom's reaction, though, shocked me to my very core. I was expecting her to hug me tightly so we could both cry together. Instead, she gave me this cold look, and I immediately realized she blamed me for losing her husband. I couldn't believe it. Mom was supposed to love me, but now she seemed to hate my guts. So not only did I have to suffer the loss of my dad, but also my mom's constant anger, all aimed at me. When my best friend Susan came to help me with my initial grief, my mom came to my room and started to scream to my best friend, "Get out of my house!" I started to cry and asked her why. She didn't look at me and left the room. I called Susan and apologized to her for what happened. She understood the conditions and said, "I am not upset with your mother. I know the difficult situation that she is going through. Mom never could get over my dad's death. No matter how many years slipped by, I had to work twice as hard to keep going since she seemed to be lost in the past. She became a complete psycho. I would catch her just staring at the blank TV screen, not moving. It made me feel extremely uneasy. I tried to talk to my mom and help her navigate through the hardest of her grief. "What about having dinner together at a restaurant, Mom?" I said. She stood up and began to scream, then went into my room. She started throwing my things and messed up a lot of my makeup. I could hear glass breaking, and then she went into our laundry room and started throwing bleach on my clothes hanging up in my closet. I tried to cool her down, but she told me, "Get out of my house." It was scary seeing her like this. I left the house and stayed with my best friend. I'm pretty sure Mom lost her mind. She sent me messages demanding I apologized for wanting a gift. She told me repeatedly how I ruined her life, and even refused to come to my graduation ceremony. "Mom, please," I told her over the phone. "It's really important to me. Come to the ceremony." "I would if your dad was here by my side, but he's not, and it's all because of you. So no, I won't go celebrate with you." I was heartbroken and barely enjoyed the day at all. Would you believe me if I told you that every single year on my birthday, I got a call from my mother reminding me that was the day I had murdered my father? Yes, she actually used those words. I hated my birthday so much, and it took me years and years to be able to even get out of bed during that day. I ended up getting a job at a nice office, and Mom actually tried to get me fired. To her, I didn't deserve having nice things. She wanted to so badly to ruin my life, and as the years went by, it seemed to get worse and worse. I actually considered getting a restriction order on her, but simply couldn't get myself to do anything of the sort. No matter what she did to me, my mom was the only family I had left, and I wanted so badly to be close to her once more. Plus, I knew how much she was suffering, and wanted to be supportive, but she made it impossible. Every single time we talked, she ended up making a big scene, screaming at me like I was a criminal or something. Eventually, I met a guy who made me feel special, and for the first time since my dad's death, I celebrated my birthday. Not with a party or anything of the sort, mind you. I just went out to get ice cream with Mark, my boyfriend, and didn't suffer in my apartment all alone. The following year, Mark proposed to me, and I immediately said yes. He was the love of my life, and finally, I had a new family to belong to. He knew all about my past and my mom's attitude. But he wasn't intimidated by any of it. Mark is amazing and he's my rock. Of course, at first, I didn't even consider inviting my mom. Not only would she try to ruin my big day, but she'd also take offense to me celebrating anything without my dad being there. She had this sick pleasure that made her want to see me suffer. And honestly, she also enjoyed making others miserable as well. But a month before the date, Mom called me out of the blue. She explained she had heard I was getting married and that she wanted to be a part of the ceremony. "It's what Dad would have wanted," she said, and I cried tears of joy. I couldn't believe this was really happening. I was finally going to get my mom back, and I was so happy she'd be coming to my wedding. Of course, I immediately said yes. She told me she was going to buy a lovely dress to wear for the big day, and I almost yelled with happiness. I should have known it was too good to be true, though. Mom arrived super late, and I was so worried about her, wondering if she had suffered an accident much like my dad had all those years ago. When she finally arrived, I realized the only reason she wanted to be invited was to ruin my happiness. Mom strolled into the party dressed in a wedding dress. Yes, you heard that right. She was clad in all white, with a veil and a bouquet of white flowers. I was so shocked I couldn't even react. Then she began speaking to everyone in the room, telling them they should be ashamed to celebrate the wedding of a murderer. "Either the groom is blind or he killed someone else as well. Either way, this marriage won't last. Tiffany cannot love anyone for real. That's why she killed her father, you see." I was so furious, but also incredibly hurt, and I ran away, sobbing miserably. My husband and his family managed to force my mother out, though she made a big scene before they closed the door behind her. My wedding party was ruined, and I was heartbroken. But that was hardly the only surprise she had planned for me, because about half an hour later, I saw my ex, Jack, walking in like it was no big deal. He had cheated on me and taken advantage of my vulnerability. What was he doing at my wedding party? He grabbed the microphone and called me and my husband all sorts of horrible names, letting us know my mom had told him exactly how to get in the party through the back entrance. He had to be escorted out by security to keep him from grabbing the cake and throwing it to the ground. After that, I asked everyone to leave and cried for the rest of the night. At least I had my husband by my side, and he was so supportive as well. The following day, my mother-in-law talked with me and finally convinced me to ask for a restriction order. It was the hardest decision I ever had to make, but I knew there was no other way to live a good life. Mom still tries calling me from time to time, but I don't pick up. I just let the courts know she's breaking the protective order I have against her. I don't want my mom to go to prison, but I can't deal with her madness any longer. Thank you for watching. What would you do if you were in my shoes? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe.